Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and today I'm joined by...
Protoblob.
Yes, the good job blob, headmaster blob, professor blob. You know, all the like. It was just a matter of time before you started getting many nicknames. You know, that's kind of our thing out here in the OMNI Coalition. You know, people get many different nicknames. So, you know, it seems to be a trend. Anyway, today is Moon's Day, also known as Monday, January 16th, 2023. So, if you want, can you start us off in the year 27 BC, Mr. Blob?
Yes, in 27 BC, the title Augustus is bestowed upon Gaius Julius Caesar Octavian by the Roman Senate.
Ooh.
So he's known as Augustus Caesar.
Yes.
Also known as Gaius Octavius.
Yep.
In the year 550, in the Gothic War, the Ostrogoths under King Totila could conquer Rome after a long siege by bribing the Isaurian garrison.
Oh yeah, that's right. I heard about that. You know, that was the people who were like supposed to defend the city, and you know, money talks. So you know, people are only allegiant to the almighty greenback. So.
Yes, in the year 1219, floods in northern Netherlands after a storm, thousands of people were killed.
Wow.
And in the year 1412, the Medici family is appointed official banker of the papacy.
Huh. Well,
which made them the most powerful family in the entire world at the time.
Yes. And then 400 years later, it became the Rothschilds. So. In 1493, Christopher Columbus left the New World and set sail for Spain. So that's after he discovered it. And he was going back to be like, oh, hey, look what I found. So, 1501, Voyage of Discovery as well. Portuguese navigator Pedro Álvares Cabral and 6 ships began their return voyage to Lisbon. Huh, that's interesting. So, 8 years on the exact same date, 2 different explorers are returning home. Huh. Lisbon is in Portugal, right? Like...
Yes, but Mr. Cabral actually discovered Brazil.
Ah, okay. So, yep. Then,
he did that in 1500.
Okay. So this must be when he's coming back from discovering Brazil.
Yes.
And Lisbon is in Portugal, which is like
the capital of Portugal.
Yeah, like, but Portugal is... I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's connected to Spain. So both Christopher Columbus and Pedro Álvares Cabral here were heading back in the same direction generally. So that's pretty interesting. 8 years, you know, separated, but on the same exact date. That's wild. Before I move on up, though, we have a new addition, for today at least.
Thank you, the Golden Moon.
Thank you for joining us. 1547, Ivan IV the Terrible, at the age of 17, crowned himself the first Tsar of Moscow. Ooh.
Yeah, just crown yourself if nobody else does it.
Yep. I mean, like, you know, that makes you wonder, like, you know, like when I was 17, like, you know, how would you feel if I had crowned myself, you know, emperor of something? Like, you know, that'd be...
Well, as I recall, I was crowning you more than anything.
Yeah, with a toilet brush or something. Anyway, Mr. Blob, let's go back to you, good sir.
All right. In 1556, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V abdicates his role as King of Spain and appoints his son Philip II of Spain.
Ah. All right, so this is when Thimblehead got his power. Well, his hat looks like a thimble. It looks like a felt thimble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder what he's hiding under there. Is his head actually a thumb? You know, is he like one of those people from the first Spy Kids movies, the thumb bums or whatever, the thumb people? You know?
In 1605, the first edition of El Ingenioso Hidalgo Don Quixote de la Mancha, the book one of the Don Quixote saga by Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, is published in Madrid.
Dang. So it sounds to me like you already knew a little bit of thing about this book here.
Oh no, it's very famous. Don Quixote, very famous. You know.
Yeah, he is.
I'm feeling a little uneducated now.
There's also a famous song by Nick Kershaw with the same title, which is also great. Anyway, in 1765, Charles Messier catalogs the M41, a galactic cluster in Canis Major. That's the major dog.
Oh, let's take a look at that here.
Big dog, big wolf, something like that.
Stars. 1793, French King Louis the 16th was sentenced to death by the National Convention during the French Revolution. Dang. And here's this guy again with his hair trying to escape. So, yeah, during the French Revolution, those French, they like to revolt. So.
Yeah, and he was executed 5 days later.
Oh, so, yeah, I guess he served his sentence. 1832, Charles Darwin landed at Porto Preo in the Cape Verde Islands, the first landing of his HMS Beagle voyage. Oh, okay. So we've been talking about the Beagle off and on for this this entire past year, and I guess this is when the first landing. So like he had started his embark like a while ago, and then this is the first landing right here. So that's pretty cool. We also have another historic event here in 1897. John Dewey's essay, My Pedagogic Creed, appeared in School Journal. What is pedagogic? What does that mean? Hold on a second.
It means school education, but no children education.
Yeah, relating to teaching. So his teaching creed, I guess. He's a philosopher, a psychologist, and a writer. So.
Yeah, but it's not education in the sense of school, but in general, like also parenting and
Yeah.
Everything that's to do with raising children.
Yeah. Like I went on to Google and I searched this. It says relating to teaching. So like it's, as you said, it's not just school, but it's your overall education in life. Your book smarts, your street smarts, what your parents taught you, what you learned yourself.
Life's teachings.
Yes. So.
Yes.
And I believe we go back to you, Mr. Blob, in 1914.
Oh, I actually take 1909.
All right.
Antarctic. The Antarctic explorers Douglas Mawson, Edgeworth David, and Alistair Mackay reached the South Magnetic Pole as part of the Nimrod expedition.
I still can't get over the Nimrod expedition. Like Nimrod is it sounds, I don't know if it is, but it sounds like an insult. Like oh, you Nimrod, but like.
Yeah, well that's slang.
Yeah, but South Magnetic Pole, a lot of people don't realize there are actually 2 north and 2 south poles. We have geographic and we have magnetic. Geographic is obviously the top of the top, but that's not necessarily where the magnetics, that's causing, the electromagnetic bubble around the Earth is coming out of, or going into from the south and north pole. It rotates around. So.
Yeah.
So yeah.
In 1914, writer Maxim Gorky returns to Russia.
Okay. I think I've heard that name.
Yeah, his full name is Alexei Maximovich Peshkov.
Okay.
He won. He was nominated 5 times for the Nobel Prize in Literature. He didn't win it. Well, that's strange. Anywho, in 1917, the Zimmermann telegram is sent from Germany to Mexico, stating in the event of the United States entering World War I on the Allied side, Mexico would be given Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. Intercepted by British intelligence and partially deciphered by the next day, its release in March shifts the United States public opinion in favor of war against Germany.
I do not know why that's not highlighted. That is a very big thing right there. It's the huge. Zimmermann telegram. Oh my God. And yeah, as you said there, the British actually held that because see, here's the thing, like like, this is gonna sound stupid, but it's kind of smart at the same time. The Germans, to send the message to Mexico, actually utilized the British wires, like whatever their communication system, like in a way to hopes of going under the radar, but at great risk, obviously, of what inevitably happened of getting caught because they were using the enemy's own lines of communication to broadcast this message. But the British held onto it as a token, as a chip, to later on down the line, which they used. It says here, which it's released in March. January, February, March. So a couple months.
Yeah.
They held onto it for an opportune time, which obviously did occur, to finally did send to the U.S. And this is after no, like we were already like 1917. Why? The Lusitania. When did the Lusitania sink? When did Lusitania? 1915. So we were already in like. So I guess this was just like yet another push. So it's not a way to get us in the war, but it's a way to push us even more. So we were already like because we already declared war, like I believe after because that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Right.
The Lusitania.
Yeah. Right.
So, which by the way I believe was a sister ship to the Titanic. So. Anyway, uno mas, good sir. Oh, by the way, before you continue, I see we've been joined by Doom Guy. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Yes.
In 1919, the 18th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified. It authorizes the prohibition of alcohol. It is ratified by a majority of United States states.
Yep.
States.
States. Yep. So the beginning of Prohibition. We were talking about Al Capone, like I think yesterday, and this is basically what allowed him to get his notoriety. So.
You might want to read the first in 1920, I think.
1920, the first assembly of the League of Nations was held in Paris. Yep. Predecessor to what we now know as the United Nations.
Yeah.
I've spoken about this, often. We got an election of interest in 1921. Eleftherios Venizelos became Prime Minister of Greece for the 4th time. All right. And in British history, 1924, British government of Stanley Baldwin resigned. All right. So, by British government, we're talking about, like, his cabinet, so it's like, it'd be like, out here in the States, I believe, if I have my correlations correctly, like, it'd be like, how we call, like, the Clinton administration, the Bush administration, that's the equivalent of, the government.
Yeah.
So it's his administration. So.
But they get a vote of no confidence, I believe.
Yeah.
As we don't have that.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
And then, if you don't mind, I see Australia here. I kind of, I'm itching to do my accent, so I'm going to take 1931 here. Australian cricket batting prodigy Don Bradman scored 223 versus West Indies in 3rd Test in Brisbane. Most runs scored by a player in a Test match in Australia in one day. Wow.
Aussie accent and cricket.
And cricket, yes.
Yeah, as a reward for that, he got a cricket wicket.
Cricket wicket! Yep. All right, Mr. Blob, I believe it's your turn again.
All right, my next is in, let's see, 1938. The first jazz concert is held at Carnegie Hall, performed by Benny Goodman and his band. Oh, that's great.
The first jazz concert?
Benny.
Yes.
Huh.
Big jazz guy.
Well, that can't be the first jazz concert ever. That has to be the first one held at Carnegie Hall specifically.
Of course.
Okay, so.
Yes, that's what it says. The King of Swing.
Yep.
Anyway, in 1938 also the LPGA golf tournament, the title holders championship women's golf in Augusta, CC. Patty Burke retains title by a massive 14 strokes ahead of Jane Cothran.
That's a lot.
That's huge.
Yeah, she ran away with that.
Wow. And by the way, for future reference, CC means country club. So there's GC and then there's CC, country club and golf course. So.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. 1941, and we spoke about this actually a month and change ago. But 1941, U.S. Vice Admiral Bellinger warned of an assault on Pearl Harbor, nearly a whole year before it happened.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, like, as awful as prejudices and things like that are, we gotta listen to our gut feeling, and we didn't, we wanted to be all, all lovey-dovey with Japan, and we basically opened the door for them to take advantage of our greatest strength, which is our greatest weakness, our tolerance. So,
Well, no, we weren't real great to Japan. We cut off their oil supply, or threatened to.
well, no, we did. We embargoed them because they were, extremely aggressive to everywhere around them.
Yeah.
They were waging war against everywhere. They were becoming a global threat, and we cut them off because a lot of those people, a lot of those nations out there, were either our allies or in good standings with the U.S. and they were under threat of being completely overtaken and owned and controlled by Japan. China being one of them.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
because of because we want to play politics, we basically allowed stuff like that to happen. If you want to solve a problem, put a lid on it immediately.
For the people in power, we all are pawns that can be sacrificed.
Yeah, well, good luck trying to control me. So. Anyway, 1944, General Eisenhower took command of Allied invasion force in London. So about half a year before the Normandy invasions, because that was 1944 as well.
Yeah.
I know that guy from baseball.
Yeah, that's right. He played baseball with
General MacArthur.
well, no, I thought it was it might have been MacArthur, but I thought it was Bradley too. Omar Bradley.
Okay, could be. It could be. It could.
Hold on
I'm
a
not
second.
sure.
Who did Dwight Eisenhower play baseball with? Eisenhower was the president of the Abilene High School Athletic Association in 1909, and he played center field in the baseball team with his brother Edgar. Oh, J. Edgar Hoover. No, not Hoover.
No.
I don't know where that name came from. At first base, President Eisenhower entered West Point after school and played junior varsity baseball with General Omar Bradley.
Okay, so it wasn't MacArthur, it was Bradley.
No. Yeah, no. MacArthur, I remember we went over this a while ago. I think Blob is the one who brought this up or something, a couple months ago. So.
Yeah, and the issue is he was not an amateur after that anymore, so it violated the cadet honor code, which meant that he had to sign a voucher claiming he had never played sports for money.
Huh.
So, it would have prevented him from entering the military if it came out that he did.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Yes.
One little hiccup with sports and we would have lost Ike. Oh my God! That's why I keep saying every little thing, no matter how great or insignificant it may seem, everything is equally important. Everything in life. So.
Yeah.
1905, though, Adolf Hitler moved into the Führer bunker, his underground bunker in Berlin. So that's going to be his last place of residence.
Yeah.
So, actually, supposedly, I believe he fled to Argentina, but.
That's the belief, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was discovered, because the Russians obviously had, Hitler's skeleton and stuff, because after he offed himself, they went and burned his body and such. But they discovered that the skull was not only Hitler's; it wasn't even male. Since then they've done DNA testing and such, and it was the skull of a female. So the body of Hitler, as far as what society has been told, has never been found. So
yeah, but my theory is that he died in 1938 and then was replaced.
That also is a good theory.
I've heard that too.
Yeah. So. But I believe it's your turn now, 1949.
Yeah, also that guy we just talked about looks a bit like Charlie Chaplin in the movie The Great Dictator. Just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
In 1949, Benjamin Britten's chamber opera The Rape of Lucretia closes at Ziegfeld Theater in New York City after 23 performances.
That's a harsh name. Damn.
Well, it's a historic,
Event?
yes.
Yeah. Dang. Still though, like, and only 23 performances, so obviously it didn't really get a lot of fanfare.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's a mythological thing essentially.
Yeah.
We will put a link to that in the underbar later.
Yep.
Anyway, in 1952, the United States Standard Board clears Stan Musial from the MLB to get an $85,000 salary.
All right.
And in 1954, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein's musical South Pacific, starring Mary Martin and Ezio Pinza, closes at the Majestic Theater in New York City. After 1,928 performances, winning 10 Tony Awards and the Pulitzer Prize.
Wow. That's
Yes.
we went from 23 to 1928. Like,
Yeah.
that's insane.
And the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah. 1956, Egyptian President Nasser pledged to reconquer Palestine.
Yeah, so there was a guy with that name playing a Total War game. And because the second to fourth letter in that name are offensive, those 3 letters were censored,
Oh,
which
what?
made the name much worse.
Oh. Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. I remember. Oh my God. I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my God, dude. Holy.
Yeah.
So what he's saying is, there's like a Total War game, like, you know, like Rome Total War, whatever. I believe it's more recent, and he's playing online. But Nasser, you know, ASS,
Yeah.
was censored because, you know, S.
Oh.
Now, N blank 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 ER. That looks even worse. You
Yes.
know what I'm spelling?
Yeah.
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 So they're censoring a bad word and making a worse word because of the censoring.
Yeah. Okay.
I could have had a V8. Anyway, 1960, Detroit right wing Gordie Howe scored a goal and assist in his 888th career game. A 3-1 win at home over Chicago, became NHL's all-time leading scorer with 947 points, passing Montreal's Maurice Richard. Dang, that's a lot of points.
Yeah.
So. And NBA All-Star Game, 1962, 12th NBA All-Star Game at St. Louis Arena, St. Louis in Missouri. West beats East, 150 to 130. Most valuable player, Bob Pettit. St. Louis Hawks center, All-Star record, 27 rebounds. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Also, as a basketball enthusiast, it's called Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Which, by the way,
I got to see him play
before I forget, you
when he
missed
was
it.
in college.
You missed it yesterday. It would, like, oh God, I died. So yesterday we were talking about, who was it? I just had the name. Larry Bird.
Oh, okay.
Like Larry Bird popped up.
Yeah.
And like I knew that name, you know, back when I was younger, you know, used to watch basketball
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
and I knew Larry Bird stuff. And then for a second I thought he was on the Lakers.
Oh,
You know,
no.
it said he was on something else, but like,
Celtics.
but see, look, like I searched for was Larry Bird in the Lakers, and you're gonna laugh. No.
Yeah, they were rivals.
But
Huge rivals. Yeah.
But I
No.
never expected Google to come at me with that attitude. It's like, it feels like I'm talking to a person. Like, was Larry Bird in the Lakers? No, you idiot. He wasn't in the Lakers. What are you, some kind of dumb? Like, you know, geez, Google, chill out.
No, that's Magic Johnson, Larry Bird duels, you know, for the championship every year and what's going on. So yeah, they were brutal enemies.
Oh yeah, well, like, but you know, but
Yeah,
this was like,
that's funny.
like, it's
That's
just
funny.
big fat no. Like,
The perfect answer. What can I tell you?
Anyway, Mr. Blob, continue on. 1963.
In 1963, we have the 13th NBA All-Star Game, LA Memorial Sports Arena. East beats West with 115 to 108. Most valuable player, Bill Russell, Boston Celtics center.
There's another one you should get a big ass no on if you asked if he was a Laker.
You know what? Let's see here. Bill Russell. Was Bill Russell? Let's see if Google has the same attitude
Got to.
in the Lakers. No. Okay. Well, Google.
Same thing. Exact same thing.
Google's getting sassy up in here. Tell you what.
That was Bill Russell against Jerry West, Elgin Baylor.
Yeah.
So that was a huge duel too.
Now,
Yeah.
now my Google search history is going to be confusing. It's like, what the hell is he doing?
This guy's an idiot.
I am.
And in 1963, also Nikita Khrushchev claims to have a 100 megaton nuclear bomb. That's the Soviet Union.
The Tsar Bomba, yes, they have it.
Most likely, that's the Tsar Bomba.
Yeah, no, when they detonated that, as I said, it was a 50 megaton, but it had the capacity to contain a yield of 100, which they didn't do. They actually dumbed it down to 50 because they believed at 100 it would actually start eliminating the ozone layer. And like very much like the theory about, if you set off a nuclear chain reaction, then that can continue on and destroy the entire universe.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't explain the audacity of mankind, I don't know what ever will. We still tried it.
Yeah, I know. That's the amazing part.
Oh my God! Thank God we were wrong, but still, it's like, oh, let's see what happened. We could have ended everything.
Yeah, because the belief was that because it's a hydrogen bomb, it would burn up the hydrogen in the atmosphere and then eventually in the entire universe.
Yep. So.
But you have reactions like that in the sun already, so.
Yeah. Well, there's no hydrogen around the sun. It's empty space. So. At least we just destroyed our planet.
Helium.
So whatever.
Yeah, that's helium, not hydrogen. Yes. Anyway, we will bury you. In 1963, Tennessee Williams' Milk Train doesn't stop here anymore, premieres.
Huh.
So, where does it stop? Our viewers can probably find out.
I would probably say it stops at Wisconsin because they need the milk to make cheese. So. Then we got an NFL Pro Bowl in 1966, the 16th NFL Pro Bowl held at the LA Memorial Coliseum. East beats West 36-7. MVPs Jim Brown, Cleveland Browns, running back. Dale Mignard of St. Louis Cardinals, linebacker. All right. And that makes me wonder, is the Pro Bowl always held at the LA Memorial Coliseum?
I think it's in Hawaii now, but I think it was at one time.
Because, if you're going to do East and West, then, you shouldn't host it in the West. You should host it in, the Midwest.
They went to
It usually depends.
And Texas didn't have an NFL team then.
Yeah.
So forth. Maybe they had Dallas by then.
I don't know.
Yeah, 66, I think they did.
And I see that Doom guy made a couple noises. We were talking about football, and he had to make his presence known.
I was saying... No. What I was saying is it depends. It depends on what the NFL's feeling because... Well, the Pro Bowl doesn't even hold any value anymore. It's just a popularity contest now. Because all the bad players get put into the Pro Bowl now.
That's kind of redundant. Well, not redundant, but that's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to put the top players that aren't going to the Super Bowl in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
But as of right now, we don't know who will go. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, going to move on to an Alice article here. 1966, Chicago Blackhawks right wing Bobby Hull scored four goals, his 17th career hat trick, in a 6-5 loss to the New York Rangers. He became the first player in team history to score 300 goals. All right.
Maybe you can take the first one of 1969 also.
All right, 1969. Jan Palash, a Czech student, self-immolated in protest after the Soviet invasion of Czechoslovakia. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one in Europe.
Yeah, why is that not highlighted? So, those Russians always invading people. I guess that's why we call them Russians. They're always rushing in,
Rushby.
They're always rushing to the store.
Yeah.
To get more supplies.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Doom, since you're here, are you down to rattle off a couple articles?
Hang on, I get it. Yeah, sure.
So maybe the other one in 69?
All right.
Yeah. Well,
Well, that's big. Why is that not highlighted either? What the hell?
TDH needs to get their stuff together, or on this day, I mean.
Yeah. I was gonna say TDH,
Yeah, TDH.
bro. We have stuff together a lot better than these guys do.
We are TDH. I was like, oh wait, hang on, we are TDH. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's just like, wait a minute.
No, we're not TDH. We're on this day. They're TDH.
Wait.
How the turns have tabled.
Yes.
Anywho, in 1969, Soviet Soyuz 4 and Soyuz 5 perform first transfer of crew in space.
That is big. That is big.
Cool.
That. Yeah, I remember him doing that.
Yeah, like I don't know if they had airlocks back then or what, but like they had to, EVA, extravehicular activity. They had to get outside and go to the other ship.
I think they went through a lock, if I'm not mistaken. At
Or
least
maybe
that's
they
what I'm
did.
remembering.
Maybe they
They
did.
didn't go outside. They hooked up and connected.
Yeah, you're right. I remembered it wrong. So you're right. They hooked up and then did that. But that is still massive,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
Oh, good old Omar.
Yep.
Anywho, in 1970, 4 months after leading a coup against monarchy, Muammar Gaddafi takes over role of Libya.
All right.
He looks like an even more miserable Ben Kingsley.
Oh, he was a miserable individual. Yeah.
But he was trying to do good, as I
We kind of
mentioned.
screwed him around eventually, but yeah.
Because he was trying to get his country back onto a gold standard, not on the petrodollar, the U.S. dollar. Their entire economy was based off of ours, and that's.
Well, he did a lot of terror stuff too, but then he tried to,
Did he, or is that lies perpetuated to to make it more righteous to go after
you're
him?
going into political stuff now.
He did horrible things to girls in his palace.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to defend the guy, but like at the end of the day, he was trying to do something good for Libya, and by extension, the rest of Africa, because he had plans on, inspiring the rest of the African nations around him from doing the same thing, getting off of the U.S. dollar and getting back onto a gold standard to back their economy.
Inspire or rule.
Well, whatever the case, our economy should not dictate other nations. So.
Yeah.
Whatever. One more, Mr. Doom Guy.
In 1970, Kurt Flood files a civil lawsuit challenging baseball's reserve clause.
Do you have any idea what
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, that gave them the right to become free agents.
Oh, okay.
That's huge. That's why they're so wealthy today.
Ah.
This was the turning point for free agency. That's huge.
And free agency being?
Players could, at the end of their contract, go from choose whatever team they wanted to go to the highest bidder or whatever team they wanted to.
Yeah.
They're totally free.
That's good.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Mr. Blob.
All right. In 1971, Art Schenk skates a world record 1,500 meters in 1 minute, 58.7 seconds.
That's quick.
In 1974, the movie Jaws by Peter Benchley is published by Doubleday.
The book Jaws.
The novel, I mean. The novel that became the movie.
Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Which, Jaws literally invented the term blockbuster. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, that was like the first, like the whole blockbuster season, everything around blockbuster, because it was so popular.
Yeah.
That like it busted the block. Like the box office.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so.
All right. And in 1978, we have the American Music Awards, the 5th American Music Awards. Stevie Wonder, Fleetwood Mac, and Conway Twitty win.
Ah.
And unfortunately, the cute girl from Fleetwood Mac died last year.
That's
What's her?
unfortunate. Uno Mas, right?
Oh, I thought I had my 3.
All right, 1979, BBC landmark nature series Life on Earth, presented by David Attenborough, was first shown on BBC One.
His voice is so distinct. If you ever hear it, you know exactly who it is talking.
We also have another historic event here in 1979. Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi fled Iran for Egypt during the Iranian Revolution. Yep, and we've spoken about him. He's the guy who went all over the world and nobody wanted to house him.
Yeah.
And eventually, he ended up in France or somewhere. somewhere.
he was here for a while. Where did he go?
Actually, he died in. Where did he die? Well, doesn't tell me where he died. But like I think he did make it back to Iran. I don't know.
No,
No.
definitely did
Okay.
not.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
1980, Paul McCartney was arrested at Tokyo International Airport for possession of marijuana. He was sent to jail for 9 days before being deported. So, and if this is the day I'm thinking of, this time last year, and Alice will definitely remember this because she was here during this. We're going to be talking about Paul McCartney and then his wife about 7 years later for getting arrested somewhere else. I think in the Philippines this next time. For drug possession, the exact same thing. So it's kind of weird. On the same exact calendar dates, it happened twice to this guy. Like, did you not learn? You know? So, but anyway, Blob, it's your Doom Guy, it's your turn. 1981.
Alrighty, in 1981, boxer Leon Spinks is mugged. His assailants even take his gold teeth.
Wow, that's ouch. They took his teeth out.
Oh man,
What the hell?
not the grill.
Man,
Not the grill. Come on, guys. Come on.
that's not cool, dude. Like,
He bet Muhammad Ali, but he did get beaten up by some buttholes.
Yeah.
I mean, who takes gold teeth out of people's mouths? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That sounds.
Well-
Who yanks the grills, bro?
Oh,
Yeah.
I know one German party that did that.
Yeah, that's the joke I was making.
Oh no, they really did that.
I know, that's the joke I was making. Like. Anyway, 1981.
Also in 1981, John Lennon's single "Woman" is posthumously released in the UK.
What's
Now,
funny?
to give some context, there's a meme out there where it's like it's the medic and the spy, or like who is it?
It's heavy.
Heavy.
It's Medic and Heavy
Medic and Heavy.
from Team Fortress 2.
Yeah.
For anybody who
and,
needs to
and
know.
they're like drinking coffee, and then they're just like women, ha ha ha. It's just some stupid meme. So that's why Doom Guy here was laughing, to give some context to the debauchery going behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they've ruined it for me. They completely ruined the whole. They've ruined the word for me. Like, they're fine. Like, they're like. I'm not saying anything bad about women. Like, they're fine. It's just the meme ruined the word,
Yeah.
not the people, but the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
So yeah, for anyone in the comments that are female, I have nothing against you. So you know, I have nothing against you.
Way to segue out of that.
Anyway,
For the
82,
sake
good
of our
sir.
country. In 1982, Edmonton's rookie goaltender, Grant Fuhr, has his 23-game unbeaten streak with a 7-1 Oilers defeat in Toronto.
Yeah, his 23
That's-
game streak ended with a 7-1 loss. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a whipping.
Yeah.
7-1, yeah, that's a whipping.
Yep. Mr.
A
Blunt.
miracle whip.
All right. In 1984, the 11th American Music Awards, Pat Benatar and Michael Jackson win.
All right.
I don't know that person, but I know Pat.
As I was saying, here we are.
But I know Pat Benatar
Oh,
because
yeah, she's
now.
a singer. Pat Benatar, yeah. She's a singer.
Yeah, I know her because tonight. I don't know this guy from Zombie. In 1984, Paul and Linda McCartney arrested in Barbados possession of cannabis.
Okay, so it was Barbados. Remember I was just talking about
Yeah,
this?
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
So what was it?
You
Was it
think-
7 years? Like this is 81 and this is
Four
84.
years.
So 3 years. So
3 years. No, four.
no, 81 to 84 is 3.
Yeah, it was 80 when he was arrested in Tokyo.
It's a good thing they didn't get busted in Russia, eh?
Oh, 80. Wait. Oh, you're right.
Oh.
So it was 4. Sorry, I read the wrong thing. You're right, Bob. I'm sorry.
All right.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Good. In ni-
be butter.
Okay, Kratos.
Alright. Anywho.
In 1988, Czech dissident Václav Havel is arrested in Prague for taking part in demonstrations against the communist government, and later he became president, I think, of Czech.
Czechoslovakia or the Czech Republic?
Yeah, Czech Republic, 1993 to 2003.
Oh, cool.
Yes. Okay, your turn.
1988 as well. George Harrison's single "Got My Mind Set on You" topped the Billboard charts. Number 1 in the charts.
I
That's
got
cool.
my mind set on you.
And we got a Hall of Fame in 1991. The 6 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Laverne Baker, The Byrds, John Lee Hooker, The Impressions, Wilson Pickett, Jimmy Reed, Ike and Tina Turner, Howlin' Wolf, Dave Bartholomew, and Ralph Bass were put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So,
Howlin' Wolf, there's a great one.
that sounds good. Howlin' Wolf, you know?
Yeah, great blues guitars.
Yeah.
1992, Eric Clapton performed for an episode of MTV's Unplugged at Bray Film Studios in Windsor, England, recording won 6 Grammy Awards and became Clapton's best-selling album and the best-selling live album of all time. Wow. You know, Eric Clapton, that's a name I recognize, you know, but
Another great blues guitarist, one of the best.
beyond the actual name, I don't know anything about it. It's just
Ah.
like, it's in my mind, and like, as I've said before, if a name makes it to me, then that's something big. It's not because I'm a big person or anything. It's because I'm so culturally ignorant that, like, when I know a name, there's a reason. You know, like they've made it
well,
big.
he was the original guitarist in the Yardbirds, which had 3 of the all-time great guitarists ended up being there. Who just died? Jeff Beck. He played
Jeff
for them.
Beck, yeah, that's right.
And Jimmy Page played for the Yardbirds.
Oh.
Man, it's unbelievable. 3 of the all-time greats came
It
at
was-
different times. One left, another one came in.
It was funny the other day. I think it was Alice who was talking to us, like, you know, blah blah blah. You know, this guitarist died. She's talking about Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
But you know, like she didn't remember the name, so she said Glenn Beck.
Oh.
And then now I now, like, you know, as I said, like, you know, like me being me, like, you know, the name was familiar. It was just like Glenn Beck. So I looked up. I'm like, wait a minute, the news guy from the Blaze? No way, he didn't die. Like, he's not a guitarist. She said, oh, Jeff Beck. I'm like, you got to get your names right, Alice. You almost sent me into a friggin' heart attack.
Yeah.
You know, no.
Anyways, he later played with the Cream, one of my favorite groups back then.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna do the split here, and there's a reason I'll explain after the show. But we have a new plan going on here.
Go
So,
for it.
but Badoop. Hello, welcome to This Date in History. We are now in the year 2000 and up. Mr. Blob, if you would like to, actually no, Mr. Doom Guy, why don't you start us off today in 2002?
Into year 2002, United Nations Security Council unanimously establishes an arms embargo and freezes assets of Osama bin Laden, Al Qaeda, and the members of the Taliban.
Good. So,
Yeah. And the name Al Qaeda actually means the network, but a very similar sounding word means the toilet. So they were often called the toilet in news.
well, yep.
Because it's pronounced the same essentially.
Well, you know, they are rather shitty, so. That joke just flushed, so. Yeah.
Yeah, you flushed the
Wipe it
toilet
clean,
on
would
that
you?
one.
I'm just pissing things away, aren't I?
You
Anyway.
pissed the bed on that one.
Well, let's get a seat on this. Let's go to 2005.
In your 2005 62nd Golden Globes, The Aviator, Leo DiCaprio and Hilary Swank win.
All right, yeah, The Aviator. That's another movie I gotta see. That's about Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. In 2006, 63rd Golden Globes, Brokeback Mountain, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman and Felicity Huffman win.
That is really upsetting. What about what's his face? Why can't I remember him? The guy who played the Joker. He was in Brokeback Mountain too, right?
Heath?
Yeah, Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't they mention him in there? He was in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was one of the star. He was one of the star actors in that one.
Are they trying to bury Heath Ledger because he was a Joker and like, all this stuff about like the Joker, like politics and crap? Like, I wonder if they're trying to bury Heath Ledger now. That would be just absolutely disgusting if they are. He was a great actor.
His name was a great actor too.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, yes, he was in Twister.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the psycho guy in Twister.
Yeah.
So Russ,
really a versatile actor, which
yes
makes you a great actor if you can do all kinds of.
He has that Philip Seymour Hoffman. He has great range.
Yeah.
For acting, his range is astonishing.
He's dead.
He died in 2014 at the age of 46.
Oh, yeah.
Suspected drug overdose.
Yeah.
So.
His Zodiac goat.
He is a goat. So.
He is.
Well, he's either
his
the
acting
greatest
was
of all time
goated.
or he's a sheep. So.
I would say his acting skill. I would say he was a goat.
Definitely.
Not the goat, but he was a goat.
He was a goat.
In acting.
A great of all time. So. Anyway, Mr.
Yeah.
Blob, 2006.
Yes. In 2006, we have Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. She is sworn in as Liberia's new president and becomes Africa's first female elected head of state.
Wow. So, Liberia is ahead of
Yeah.
us.
And after signing a Freedom of Information bill, she has become a global icon due to her commitment to fighting dictators, corruption, and poverty through the empowerment of women.
Well, maybe that's why we're behind, Liberia, because they're actually trying to fight corruption while we are corruption. So.
Yes, and she got the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011.
All right.
Anyway, in 2011 also at the 68th Golden Globes, The Social Network, Colin Firth and Natalie Portman win.
Another movie I have to see, The Social Network, that involves the starting of Facebook and all that stuff. A movie I have seen is called The Circle, and that reminds me, I gotta put that in the Discord right now. Actually, where is it? The Circle. It's a really great movie, and it's about like a social network that's slowly taking over the entire world. Emma Watson, did a really great job in that movie. Tom Hanks was in it, and as well as I forgot his name, the comedian. Patton Oswalt? I think that's his name. The Circle. Let me check. Patton Oswalt. Hold on, might not be. No, this is the right guy. He's in it too. Yeah, it's Patton Oswalt. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. In 2011, also French politician Marine Le Pen becomes the leader of the National Front Party.
All right.
I was gonna say they weren't. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I got off track. Hang on. Yep. Sorry about that. Anywho.
2014.
Yeah. 2014 19th Critics' Choice Movie Awards. 12 Years a Slave wins Best Film.
That's another movie I gotta see.
Yeah, and
Good film. Good film.
2016.
In the year 2016, first ever flower grown in space, a zinnia aboard the International Space Station using NASA Veggie system.
Wow.
Dang.
Why is that not highlighted? Like, dude, we're growing shit in zero gravity.
Yeah.
Why is that not highlighted? Oh my god. So. Anyway, we got an NBA record here in 2019. Golden State guard Stephen Curry, first player in NBA history to hit 8+ 3-point FGs, field goals, in 3 consecutive games. Went 9 of 17 threes in Warriors, 147-140 win over New Orleans. Team combined for NBA record 43 3-pointers. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
I
know it.
Related.
I know. Huh?
I think the next entry is related also.
All
I think a certain AO mispronounced it. I understandable that you mispronounced it actually, because it's spelled Stefan, or Steven, but it's pronounced Stefan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doesn't make any sense. Like even to me, I'm thinking like then just spell it that way. Spell it the way it's pronounced.
I had a friend named Stefan in high school, and instead of an
Yeah.
E, it was an O. It was Stefan. Like, it was phonetic.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to. Yeah, like, if they're going to call him Stefan, they have to change that E to an O. You cannot keep that as an E.
True.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Why should we
Anywho.
borrow from the NBA then?
We'll just go and we'll legally force him to change his name.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Like, if your name gonna be Stefan, we're gonna change that E to an O.
Yep.
Well,
Or actually, no. Like, what if we're living, like, remember that movie we saw the other day, America, the Motion Picture? What if this is Stefan with an E, not Stefan with an O? You know how they're doing that on Washington with an O?
Stefan with-
Whatever?
Yeah, they were doing like different versions of each character, but with like an E or an O or something.
Yeah. So, but in 2019 as well, this might be a tag along here. The Golden State Warriors broke 2 franchise records in 142 to 101 or 111 win over the Denver Nuggets. In first quarter, record 10 3-point field goals on way to franchise best 51 points in the period. I don't fully understand
That's a
what
lot.
that was.
That's a lot of.
they
That's a lot of kicking the ball into a crossbar.
but they
I'm kidding. That's not actually in the game. It's just you throw it into a net. That's the entire sport of basketball is just very simple.
Yep.
You run down the court, throw a ball into a hoop, and then you just go back the other way.
You know, I think we should bring back that ancient Mayan game where you hit the ball with your hip, you know? So.
Oh, you gotta hit it through that hole up like 15, 20 feet in the air?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We gotta bring that
I
back.
wouldn't be able to.
So they played 2 games the same day, or what happened?
Well, this is the same day, same year, so yeah, these are 2 different games. So.
They were this. Oh yeah, they were. Oh
Well,
shit!
there's
I didn't
another
realize
NBA
that.
thing here too. So.
I forgot. Yeah, no, they play too many games in one season. They play way too many games.
Yeah.
They need to cut their schedule down to maybe like 40 games a season or something.
And try to cut the payroll back accordingly. That ain't gonna happen.
Oh, good luck. No. Anyway, 2019, UK Prime Minister Theresa May won a vote of no confidence in her government, 325 to 306. So she was allowed to keep going. Because winning a vote of no confidence means that that you have confidence. So. And then in 2020, impeachment trial of U.S. President Donald Trump began in the Senate. Here we go again, more of this crap.
Impeachment trial of U.S. President.
Impeachment trial.
Impeachment trial of president goes wrong.
Yeah. Oh my God. So anyway, we had a little bit
It ain't gonna work.
of a turn hiccup here. So, Mr. Doom Guy, why don't you take the last 2 articles in the main body here?
Don't forget the 23 one.
Oh yes.
Yeah. In 2021, Armin Laschet is elected leader of Germany's Christian Democrats. Wow. 2 things that don't correlate.
Yeah, that's
To replace long-serving leader Angela Merkel.
Yay! Goodbye, Merkel. We'll never miss you. So.
Nobody misses Merkel.
Yeah, you do. Blog.
Germany's Christian Democrats, though. Where did they come up with it? That's like saying you're a socialist Democrat. That makes no sense.
Actually,
Doesn't work.
Actually, we just do. You want to hear something else that's like mind blowing? We were researching Christianity once, live on the show like a while ago, and Christianity was actually founded in like 300 something AD by what was it? Apocalyptic Jews or something like there was a sect of Judaism that was apocalyptic or something. I don't know. So
We'll just say Jesus.
But as a
We'll just say Jesus did it because he was alive at that time.
Well, no, this is 300 years after he died. So
yeah, but as a German, I have to say that Angela Merkel actually was one of the greatest chancellors of. I'm kidding. Good riddance.
For a second there, I thought I slipped into another reality. I'm like, what the hell are you
I thought
saying?
maybe I missed some local German news. I don't know.
Yeah, I was getting concerned.
Xander just slips back into the alternate universe where Blob supports the government.
Oh my God.
The alternate universe where Blob likes Merkel.
In another reality where I actually have a girlfriend. That's
Those hitters been married for like 15 years.
oh my god.
No, it is
just look mentally drained.
Well, hey,
not-
according to the infinite expanse of the universe, there is one reality out there where I am your
Yeah.
dad.
yeah. It's not a good reality though, because Alice is your girlfriend there.
Anyway, Mr. Doom guy, you want to take 2022 here?
Yes. 2022 unvaccinated world #1 tennis player Novak Djokovic is deported by the Australian government on health and good order grounds without playing in the Australian Open.
Wow, they deported the neck.
Why would they have to add unvaccinated?
Because they're trying to push that crap. Like, that's
Idiots.
the reason why, that they deported him to begin with, because they're really trying to push this,
They wanted
That's
him.
why they-
tyranny.
That's why they kicked him out. He wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah, they wanted him to be Pfizered.
He couldn't
Yep.
play in
And
the.
yet,
He couldn't play in the U.S. Open either. We kicked him out.
Yeah. Now before,
and yet he's worth more than the Australian government combined.
yeah. Now, we have another article. It's not really history, it's news, but it does orient into history. Mr. Blob, do you want to let us know about, where...
Yeah.
Yes, go for it.
In 2023, so today, the godfather of the Sicilian mafia, Matteo Messina Denaro, is arrested after being a fugitive for 30 years.
Oh, jeez.
Dang.
Took him long enough.
He was arrested in a hospital in Palermo.
Palermo, that's in Sicily.
Yeah, in a private clinic, and he was the #1 of the mafia.
Jeez. Took him 31 years.
Dang.
Wow.
Well, 30
That's
years.
just sad.
That's history in the making.
Yep. No, we will be
Yeah.
talking about that in the news later today as well. So, but anyway, before we move on into person deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to talk about had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comments section. Anyway, as per usual, I think we're going to be saying
Yep,
sayonara to the loon.
Okay.
So, all
Have
right.
a good one.
You too. Thank you.
The loon is out.
All right. Let's move on into bursts. Mr. Blob, do you want to start us off in 1245 here?
All right, in 1245 we have Edmund Crouchback, English prince and son of Henry III of England. He was born in London, died in 1296.
Huh.
And just a few years later, in 1853, we have André Michelin, a French industrialist, the manufacturer Michelin, and publisher of the Michelin Guide, born in Paris. So he made the guide for the restaurants, but he also manufactured the tires.
So this is the guy behind the Michelin Man. So we call him Michelin, but his actual name is Michelin.
Oh, I think it's pronounced Michelin. I don't know.
If
Yes.
if the tire manufacturer, we have the Michelin tire company out here.
Yes,
So
he died in 1931.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Are we pronouncing it wrong out here in the States? Because we are incredibly stupid out here. Maybe you're right, Michelin, but out here we call it Michelin. So.
Yeah,
We're stupid, but we're not British stupid.
he founded the tire company in 1888 with his brother Edouard, and the first guide for the restaurants was published in 1900.
There's a Zamboni.
Uno mas.
All right, in 1901 we have Fulgencio Batista. Oh no, it's him.
Yep.
Dictator and president of Cuba from 1933 to 1944 and from 1952 to 1959. He was born in Baines, Cuba, and he died in 1973.
All right. I want that hat though. That's a big hat. Anyway, we have Ethel Merman, 1908, a U.S. Tony and Grammy Award-winning stage and screen actor. There's no business like show business. Yeah, we're in that business. She's also an actress. It's a mad, 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 mad world. That's another movie I gotta see. Born in Astoria, New York City. All right.
There's no business like show business. There's no business at all. The song was also covered by Frank Sinatra, by the way.
Yep. We also have Susan Sontag, born in the state in 1933. She was a U.S. writer, philosopher, and political activist, the benefactor, born in New York City, New York. All right. And
New
then
York.
We got A.J.
Oh, yeah, I'll
Foyt.
take it.
Actual
I'll
name
take
is
this one.
Anthony Joseph Foyt Jr. Born in 1935, a U.S. auto racer for the Indianapolis 500, 1961, 64, 67, 77, 24 Hour of Le Mans, 1967, Daytona 500, 1972, 24 Hours of Daytona, 1983 and 85, 12 Hours of Sebring, 1985, born in Houston, Texas. He is 88 today. Happy birthday, and my God. Like,
Yeah, legend.
That's
What a
a
legend.
long racing.
Oh yeah, he's got a long career.
Yeah.
You want to hire a race car driver? That's the guy to hire.
Yeah.
With a guy with a resume like that for racing, yes, hire him.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, better than any F1 driver you can think of. Because he's driven everything.
Yep.
Anywho,
Was that my 3? I think that was my 3. Yes. Mr. Doom Guy, you get to talk about the legend.
the legendary John Carpenter. It's his 75th birthday today. He was born in the year 1948, American film director, best known for Halloween and The Thing. Born in Carthage, New York. Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
his the final Halloween movie was made last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Took him long enough. I mean,
Well,
movies are good and all, but like the last 2 were god awful. I mean, okay, Halloween Kills wasn't bad, but Halloween Ends was pretty bad.
well, he
I mean,
is like
Michael
in the
doesn't have
70s
hardly-
now, man. His brain is probably slipping, you know?
Oh no, I don't even think he was producing it.
Oh, okay.
They were just, they were the same guy. Like it was the same Halloween movies. Like they were still crediting him for making the original Halloween. But now Halloween End just didn't make any sense.
So you think that he doesn't actually have a hand in it, is what you're saying?
I don't think he may have had a small hand in the last 3, but not much. He didn't do a whole lot, but the first 2018 one, you could tell he had his hand in it, because it was good. Yeah. Anywho, Kate Moss, her 49th birthday in 1974 is the year she was born. She's an English model, born in Croydon, England.
Huh.
Yes.
Then
You have one.
Bald.
bald,
Bald.
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 You're gonna be bald,
Bald.
today.
No, I won't. Albert Pujols, it's his 43rd birthday, born in the year 1980. Dominican baseball first baseman, National League MVP 2005, 2008 to 2009. Fourth in history to 700 home runs. St. Louis Cardinals, born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic.
So I want to say most, like, you know, like we're going on about this guy being bald, but most males are bald when you think about it. But I'm not talking about the hair kind.
Please.
They have ball brain.
Mr. Bluff, your turn.
All right. At the same day, in 1980, we have the 43rd birthday of Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's an American composer and playwright in the Heights. He was born in New York City.
Huh.
Okay. All right, and that,
Cool. So we're gonna move on up into Des, and why don't you just start us off here, Mr. Blob?
all right. In 308, Marcellus the first Catholic Pope until his death dies.
Negative 308. What does that mean? Like.
That means from an unknown time to 308.
Ah, okay. Oh, so that's a hyphen. Okay, I get it. Okay.
Yes. And in 1794, we have the death of Edward Gibbon. He was born in 1737. He was English historian, the history of the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. He died in London at 56.
Well, history repeats itself, and look what's happening in the U.S. right now. So.
Yeah, that's a huge book, by the way.
Yeah, I bet. Like, you know.
Yeah, 6-volume work.
Jeez. One more?
Okay. In 1901, No, in 1901 we have Hiram R. Revels. He was American clergyman, politician, first Black American in Congress, United States Senator from Mississippi from 1870 to 71, and also college president, Alcorn, 1871 to 82. He died at the age of 73, and he was born in 1827.
Dang. So the first black U.S. citizen in Congress. That's cool. So we got George
Mustache.
Dewey. Died on this date in 1917. He was a U.S. Admiral of the Navy. He won the Battle of Manila Bay. Died at the age of 79. He was born in 1837. So, Dewey.
That's
Yes.
mustache. Lots of mustache and very dewy hair. Looks like he drowns his hair in dewy every day.
His mustache looks very German. So,
His mustache is very handily.
yes. We also have Arturo Toscanini in 1957, an Italian cellist and conductor at La Scala in 1898 through 1908, and 1921 through 29, Metropolitan Opera 1908 through 15, New York Philharmonic 1926 through 36, NBC Symphony Orchestra 1937 through 41 and 44 through 54. Died after a stroke in New York City at the age of 79. I don't blame him after all that. Good God. I almost had a stroke just reading that. He was born in 1867. So, dang. Impressive.
Yeah.
We also have Ted Cassidy, 1979, a U.S. actor. He was Lurch from the Addams Family. He died at the age of 46. That is really young. And it appears that
Dang.
he was also George of the Jungle or Tarzan with the outfit he's wearing right there. But, yeah, rest in peace, Lurch, you know. And, of course, born in 1932, so...
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, the actual Lurch. The real Lurch.
Yep.
Whoa.
Wow, we did a
Oh.
hell of a time jump, and now we're going to Doom Guy. Actually, I'll just take this last one here. We got Phil
Looks like
Spector in
Nick Cage.
2021, just 2 years ago. He was a U.S. record producer, Wall of Sound, and a convicted murderer. Died of COVID-19 complications at 81. Yeah, sure. Wow, that's a left turn. A record producer, and then a convicted murderer. Wow.
He killed Diana Clarkson in 2003.
Jeez, that's not nice.
That's not very user friendly.
Yeah, no. Well, anyway, that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including everything OMNI Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central.
1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
7 p.m. German time.
Yep. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
And I'm Protoblob.
Alright. Anyway, and you are you, and until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some news, notable events, weather, and sports, we have that coming up in a few hours at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Anyway, until you catch us next time, whenever the time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Oats.
Oats.
Oodles and oats.